What's up, Breeze Heat family? I know it's been a while, but we are back and we are making some delicious, tender, fall off the bone oxtails. And if you're here, you go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with somebody that you would like to see. We're about to jump straight into the recipe. I start off by getting everything nice and prepped. This is going to cut down on all of your cooking time. Just chop up your veggies. I'm going to chop up a green bell pepper, 1/2 of an onion. I actually did 1/2 of a green bell pepper, 1/2 of an onion, as well as 1/2 of a red bell pepper. I also got some thyme going. I got about 4 or 5 stalks of thyme, as you can see. I got these and I put them to the side, as well as some green onion. Now this is going to be like for our marinade, but it's also going to go into our oxtails as well. You can keep the bottom on the green onion if you want to. I just didn't, and that's okay. So you're going to get about 3 or 4 stalks of this. This is kind of like a rough estimate. I did about 4 pounds of oxtails total. Just so you know, everything, of course, is going to be listed in the caption below. And if you're new here, welcome to the Breeze Heat family. If you're not, guess what, guys? Breeze Heat has her own cookbook now, so you can get that. Check out the description below. I also added in my Scotch bonnet pepper as well as some garlic. But back to this cookbook. My cookbook has about 45 recipes created by me. Some of them are on our YouTube channel, so some of them you've seen before, some of them you haven't. So if you haven't got a copy of that, go ahead and get that while you can. Thank you guys so much for supporting. And I've also reached over 20,000 subscribers. So y'all are the bomb. I chopped up, honestly, this was probably one of those elephant garlics because it was really big. But I would say about 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. And this is what all of your veggies are going to look like once you get them all cut into a separate bowl. Nice and pretty, you know. So I have my beef oxtails. I like to get mine from Sam's Club just because I honestly feel like they have the best pricing, like $21 for 3 pounds. Okay, so I guess I used about 5 pounds, but $21 for 5 pounds. They do have a little bit excess fat on there, so they don't really account for that. I mean, they do account for that in the weight, but what I'm gonna do is cut all of that off just because I don't like to cook with it. I mean, it's okay to have some of it on there, but sometimes it just gives that glob, and I don't really like that. If you like that, you can totally skip this step. You don't have to worry about it at all. But what I'm going to do is cut off the fat. Like you see, as you can see, I left a little bit of the fat on there, but I'm really just kind of removing the bulk pieces of the fat. I added the smaller oxtails in there because they don't normally have fat on there. So yeah, just get your gloves on. Go ahead and cut all of that nice and off. This is going to help you in the long run. Like I said, we're prepping everything before. We're making sure this is going to be a nice, smooth process. Y'all know how I do here at Breeze Heat. We don't do anything super complicated. We make cooking simplified and we make it fun, most importantly. So cut all of those pieces off. This one had a lot of fat on there, y'all. So I was like, you know what? Let me get to it. And you'll see kind of like at the end that I'll have a decent amount of fat sitting there, which is crazy because that probably took off like, honestly, 2 pounds from 1 pack. Like, it was so much fat, but it's okay. It's okay, y'all. Like I said, I like the price from Sam's Club, so I'm not gonna complain. This is what they look like after. Nice and beautiful. Not super packed with fat. They have a little bit of fat on there, but that's okay. But now we're about to clean them. So this is going to be 2 cups of vinegar, and then I'm gonna fill the rest of the bowl with some cool water. I don't like to do hot water because I feel like, you know, that probably starts the cooking a little bit, and we're not trying to do that. I also added in probably like 3 sliced limes, or like 2.5 sliced limes, and I'm gonna use that to not cook, y'all, what am I talking about? I'm gonna use that to clean. So squeeze your lime on there and then rub the sides. You'll see it's a little bit gritty on the side, so that's what we're trying to remove. Do as best as you can. You know, like, you won't be able to remove 100% of this, but just take your time, clean off your meat. You know, this is gonna get rid of that gritty kind of like texture on the side. So once I finished, I probably rinsed that water out 3 or 4 times until it ran clear, and that's just how I like to start off. So next we're going to get into seasoning these bad boys. I use some onion powder, some garlic powder. I use some adobo seasoning. Well, I guess I use garlic salt. Some adobo seasoning, as well as some pepper. But yeah, y'all already know all of this will be listed in the description below. So you can go get your shopping list all together and then you'll be ready to go. And it's going to be a really simple process. If you've made my recipes before, you should have all of these in your cabinet already. So I did about a tablespoon of each one just because we got a lot of oxtails here, y'all. And you want to make sure that it's really well seasoned. So go ahead, get that on there. And then the next thing we're going to be adding is called browning. Now this is what gives oxtails that color, that deep brown color. So you're going to add your browning seasoning sauce on there. I did about 2 tablespoons. Honestly, you see those 2 little pores, but honestly you can go up to 3 because they weren't as dark as I wanted them to be. So I would say 2 to 3 tablespoons depending on what you're looking for. But yeah, you're gonna mix that all together, the seasonings, the browning sauce. You want every single part of that oxtail to be nice and seasoned, especially with that browning seasoning. And then next we're going to add in our veggies that we prepped and set to the side. So here they are right here. I like to take the thyme and the green onion out just so I can get the veggies in there, mix them around, and then add those back in. You'll see. But that's just what's easiest for me. You can add them all in at the same time. That's what floats your boat. I'm not going to tell you that you can't do it. But this is just what's easier for me. Get them all in there. Mix it nice and well. And then I'm going to add in the green onion and the thyme on the top. Now, I know that there are different oxtail recipes. Like there's Jamaican oxtail. There's like Southern oxtail. There's so many. But this is just the way I do it. I'm not going to claim nobody hood. Okay? Because I don't need y'all in the comments being like, that's not how we do it. This is just how I do it. This is the simplified way. This is the way I like to make them. A lot of people make them similar to this, and that's totally okay. But here I am adding those back in and kind of giving it a little mix with everything. But what we're going to do is marinate these. So you're going to cover and marinate them. If you can, 8 to 24 hours. If not, 3 hours should work just fine. But look how beautifully marinated these are, y'all. Like, this just looks... I love coloring food. So after about 24 hours, I'm ready to cook. I'm going to heat my pan on, like, medium to high heat, for real. And get a lot of olive oil in there because you want it to be well covered. If you have a Dutch oven, please use that. That will be your best bet. If you don't have a Dutch oven, one of these pans will work. Or if you just need, like, use a regular pot, that works as well. But like I said, if you have a Dutch oven, that's going to be my first choice. Y'all, I don't know how, but when I moved, I lost it. Now, I know y'all going to be like, how do you lose an entire Dutch oven? I mean, I don't know. But I'm going to buy me a new one. Because when I moved, it's not here no more, baby. I don't know where it went. I don't know if it wanted to stay at the other house or what. But, baby, it's gone, okay? So I added in all of my oxtails. Make sure you get all of the little pieces. I tried to make sure that, like, not too many bell peppers were on each of them. So you kind of, like, knock them off a little bit while we're getting this sear. We're going to add them in later, so don't even worry about it if a few get on there or anything like that. So after about 4 to 5 minutes, I wanted them to have a really nice sear. So this is just me checking out the sear. I kind of wanted this to be a little bit longer and have a little bit more of a sear. So I gave it another 3 or 4 minutes. So I would say after like 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes total, I just went ahead and flipped them. And now I'm going to get the sear on both sides. You don't want it to be like too burnt. You just want to have a nice sear on it. If you can get a little bit better sear than this, then that would be preferred. I don't know. This pot was kind of large, so I just feel like it had a hard time really heating up everything at once, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is what I did. 4 or 5 minutes on each side. Once you flip them all, you're going to add in your veggies. So you're going to add in those bell peppers, that thyme, the green onion, all of that. And you're going to mix it up really well so that it's nice and combined. Okay, look at that. Beautiful. I just want you to know. Now, before you're going to mix it up so it's well combined, add in your green onion as well as your thyme. You're going to add in your water. I like to add in some warm water or like hot water. That way it's not taking as long to come back to a boil because it's going to be on like a medium heat. So I added those in, and y'all already know I couldn't forget my Scotch bonnet pepper, but baby, I almost did. So here's me covering it up, and then y'all see me come back, because baby, what am I doing? Yeah, here I am. before it even got to boiling, like literally 20 seconds later, I was like, what? Let me add this in. So I added that bad boy in, and I let it get to cooking. Now, after about an hour, I would say, of them cooking, I'm just going to mix them around, you know, like make sure, because I didn't cover it fully, so I'm going to make sure that all sides of them are getting nice and cooked and having an even cook on it. So I would say about the hour, you're going to flip it, you're going to close it, you're going to come back after another hour. You're going to do the same exact thing. If the water starts to get a little low, add in more hot water. Like I said, piping hot water too if you can. If you want to boil it, do your thing. But if not, piping hot water works the same. I'm telling you. And then I added in towards the end after it cooked for about 2.5 hours. That's me adding in 1/4 cup of flour and 2/3 cup of water mixed together, because I wanted that thick gravy. I'm a thick gravy type of girl, because you know what Beyonce say, thick. Okay, baby, that's what type of girl I am. So for the last 30 minutes, I'm going to let this boil with that slurry kind of thing, so that way it can get nice and thick how I want it. And about 3 hours later, this is how they should look. Like plastic fork falling off the bone. I mean, like, before you like actually take a bite, or you should be able to see the bone kind of poking through and already lifting, if that makes sense. Like for some of these, you can see the bone. You know, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to see the bone before you dig in and to get all of these. But yeah, I would love to see y'all recreate these. If you already follow me, DM me your results. If not, follow me. You can check all my socials below. See y'all next time.